Hi, my name is Jeff Josephson, CEO at LeadGen.com, and I'd like to take the next few minutes to share with you why we built LeadGen.com as a full-service provider of B2B marketing and sales solutions, and why we think you might want to consider an integrated provider like LeadGen.com for all your B2B business development needs. If yours is like most companies in B2B, you have objectives, either formal or informal, for revenue or revenue growth, profit or margin, ROI, and maybe even market share too. But if yours is like many companies we talk to, you may not be achieving your objectives. You may not be finding enough new business, you may not be winning enough new business, or you may find yourself having to lower your prices in order to get a sale. You may also have an issue with sales effectiveness, which can hurt your profitability, or with competition, which can degrade your market share, or simply with not being able to get noticed, which can stunt your growth and further prevent you from reaching your goals. Clearly, the challenges of finding and closing enough profitable new business, whether you're the business owner or a sales or marketing professional, is one that plagues hundreds of thousands of businesses, if not more, even with the easing up of the recession. Not being able to find and close enough profitable new business means that you may not be able to look forward to a comfortable retirement or pay for college for your kids. You may not be able to afford to develop that new product or service. You may not be able to expand the way you'd like, or buy a new car or a new house. In fact, you may not even be able to pay down your bank loan or even make payroll. On the other hand, developing a reliable process for generating profitable new revenues deliberately, inexpensively, and whenever you need growth is the holy grail of sales and marketing, and it's why we built LeadGen.com. In any event, if these are the kinds of goals and challenges you face, I'd like to share with you a solution that has worked for hundreds of businesses like yours, and that, we'd like to think, can work for your business too. Let's start with a little background. Even though it may seem obvious, if you sell into a B2B market, in other words, if you sell to other businesses rather than to consumers, you face a very different buyer from the one that your consumer marketing friends face. Obviously, it's unfortunate that we have to point this out, but evidently many consultants and other solution providers seem to think, wrongly, that what works in the consumer market can also work in B2B. And so these generalists often recommend solutions like particular web designs, advertising or social media marketing strategies, or even technologies that are really designed for consumer companies, not B2B. Problem is that, unlike consumer markets that tend to be responsive to mass marketing techniques, most B2B markets are much more responsive to direct marketing. And so if you use these consumer-oriented broadcast techniques, for example, you're going to end up with a lot of waste and miss most of your market. Another reason is that decision makers in B2B tend to focus primarily on doing their jobs, and they spend little, if any, time engaging with the mass media. And so a solution provider who reaches your prospects at their desks is going to do a lot better job for you than a Marcom agency who's looking for them in front of a TV or by friending them on Facebook. In addition, decisions in B2B tend to be far more rational, for example, based on ROI or operational considerations, than those in consumer markets, where emotional appeals tend to be more effective. And so a marketing partner who knows how to tie together economic and technical arguments with lead generation and sales expertise is going to be far more effective for you than a content provider who is used to dealing with right-brained decision criteria. Another reason to consider a B2B specialist is that B2B markets tend to be far more segmented than consumer markets. And while traditional consumer marketers talk about micro-targeting, the B2B market has always been one where customers go their own way based on their own unique needs. And so both promotions and solutions need to be customized for your various target markets, which only a B2B specialist can really do, as opposed to the one-size-fits-all solutions that you tend to get from most general consultants. But it is the B2B sales cycle itself that virtually demands the kind of targeted integration that only a one-stop shop that specializes in B2B can offer. In other words, there are specific efficiencies and opportunities for qualitative and sales performance improvements that only a full-service B2B specialist can enable, and that a multi-vendor or even specialty vendor approach can't possibly achieve without extremely high levels of coordination, risk, and expense. Here's a simple example. If the benefits that motivate your prospects to buy can also spark initial interest as part of your lead generation program, that's always a good thing, and any competent marketing manager can make it happen. But what if what you consider to be your differential advantage can't stimulate their initial interest? What if the trigger that stimulates initial interest is something else entirely from your basic value proposition and you can't even get in the door? How would you know? How would your marketing partners even see it and potentially help you fix it if they didn't have responsibility or at least a view over the whole sales cycle? That's a huge problem that occurs all the time when you parcel out work to multiple vendors. For example, if your lead generation company goes to market talking about how you can reduce your prospect's total cost of ownership, but the only thing that's going to get you in the door is talking about reducing initial cost, you're going to fail. Or if you hire salespeople based on a personality test when what you really need is people with a specific skill set, you're going to fail again. Or if you send out an email blast to a list that hasn't been pre-qualified, again, you're going to fail. Having responsibility over all of the moving parts when it comes to B2B sales and marketing is the only way to prevent things like this from falling through the cracks. And again, that's why we built LeadGen.com, to give you someone who has the responsibility for the whole thing. A situation from the other day illustrates another problem with the traditional multi-vendor model in B2B. Specifically, I got a call from an insurance broker who was interested in our lead generation services. During our conversation, I casually asked if they had a CRM, and the marketing director said no, but explained that she was actually in the process of trying to find one. She was dismayed at all the options, though, and the cost, and especially at the prospect of integrating it with her agency system. But she was talking to different CRM vendors and was hoping that one of them would be able to come up with a solution. So I asked if I could take a look at her agency system, and after poking around for less than 30 seconds, I realized that they had a very functional CRM embedded in it that they had simply never used. Ask yourself, would the CRM vendors with whom she was talking have ever looked to see if they had already had a system? Of course not, but a one-stop shop would, because we don't need to sell them a CRM. We need to solve the customer's problem, and that's something that can't be replicated in a multi-vendor environment. A third major problem with the traditional approach is that of lead qualification, where often marketing produces leads that salespeople don't consider to be qualified. The traditional response, which you get from the IT vendors, of course, is lead scoring. But most salespeople find lead scoring to be something that one might charitably call putting lipstick on a pig. The fact is that only if the marketing program has accountability for, or at least visibility into, sales results, which only an integrated approach can provide, can you even begin to solve this problem. Ultimately, the biggest problem that drives business owners to an integrated provider is the problem that if all you have is a hammer, everything looks like a nail. That is, without a one-stop shop, the solution that the vendor recommends isn't necessarily going to be the best solution for you. It's just the best solution he has to offer. On the other hand, an integrated solution provider who specializes just in B2B not only provides you with the right solution for any given problem, it can save you tens of thousands of dollars or more in the process while delivering better, faster, and more profitable sales results. For example, with an integrated B2B specialist, you have one firm that can conduct your market research, use it to develop a meaningful, measurable value proposition, and then apply it to writing case histories, creating your sales aids, designing your trade show booth, and even recruiting, training, and coaching your salespeople, making all of them more efficient and effective. With a one-stop shop, you get expertise in competitive positioning that can be used to develop new territories, win back losses, unhook competition, or even win a price war. With a one-stop shop, you get access not just to one or two, but dozens of vetted consultants and suppliers, from lead generation to technology, all of whom are precisely coordinated and all of whom are pulling in the same direction, yours. And with a one-stop shop, you get genuine B2B solutions, not just repurposed consumer techniques like Facebook likes or Twitter feeds that have no real applicability in the B2B market. In short, if you need to grow your business, if you need more sales, if you want a greater market share and need higher profitability, an integrated provider is the only way to go. Of course, you have to ask, doesn't putting all your eggs in one basket raise your risk profile? We agree that it would, of course, so that's why we don't do it. Because it turns out that although LeadGen.com is designed to give you one throat to choke, you're not really putting all your eggs in one basket. That is, because with LeadGen.com, yes, you get an account manager to coordinate everything, but you also get a whole team of experts in everything from list research to sales training and from CRMs to fulfillment behind him. As a result, you can save a tremendous amount of money because each of these experts doesn't have to market their individual services to you. You can save a tremendous amount of time because you don't have to reinvent the wheel for each element of your program. And you can generate the sales you need because you get a program that works and that can also adapt as your market conditions change. At LeadGen.com, we think the idea of an integrated B2B sales and marketing provider gives you the best of both worlds. The experience of seasoned B2B sales and marketing professionals combined with the efficiency of a network of leading competitive solution providers. That's how you win, and we think that's what counts the most. Thanks, and we look forward to working with you.